Hello everybody and welcome back, and today I will be reviewing Avatar: The Last Airbender Book 2, and just like before, I'll just say that this is the first time I've ever watched it, and here we go. We will start with the negatives of Book 2 for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm going to nitpick a little bit because there isn't a whole lot there. I didn't particularly love the swamp episode. It was kind of funny here and there, but overall I felt kind of bored. Later on, they're going to go to Ba Sing Se and they get tickets to go on like the ferry or something to get to Ba Sing Se, but like a pregnant woman and her family, they couldn't, and they weren't sure how to get to Ba Sing Se. So what they did was that they gave their tickets to someone else so they could escort this family to Ba Sing Se through this really dangerous Serpent's Pass. I'm a little confused as to why they gave their tickets to someone else. Couldn't they have given those tickets to them and then they could have just gone through the Serpent's Pass by themselves? I mean, that seems to me a lot safer than just, sure, let's take this pregnant lady through the Serpent's Pass where it's super dangerous. That sounds cool. The episode where Aang is on trial for murder because of his past Avatar life, may have killed somebody. To me, she didn't actually kill him, so I don't know why she confessed to something that she didn't do. Closest thing that it would be is like manslaughter. It wasn't intentional, not even in war. I didn't really get that. Did the Guru lie to Aang? Because he was helping Aang unlock these things. I don't remember what they're called anymore. You have to forgive me. I've only watched it once. I was having like Star Wars deja vu over this. Aang has a vision or something that Katara is in danger, and so he's going to get off and he's going to leave and he's going to save Katara. And Guru tells him,
if you leave now, you won't be able to go into the Avatar state at all.
But then Aang was able to enter the Avatar state at the end of Book 2. Did he lie? Was he saying that he won't be able to control it? But that's not what he said. But I don't think they were trying to portray him as lying. That's a little negative there, because I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, because the Guru never comes across as some evil human being. So we are introduced to this new character, Toph, and she's great. She's not the negative. The negative is how they resolve her personal storyline at the end. So when we first meet Toph, she is being overly protected by her parents, and she wants to go with the Avatar and his friends to travel the world and to help Aang learn earthbending. But the issue is the parents won't let her, and so she runs away, and then she lies to Aang and company that her parents let her go, and she hops on, and then her father believes that the Avatar has kidnapped her, and he's going to send these two people to go get her. We see them like twice in the entire rest of Book 2 in the desert episode, and they're briefly there, and they don't really cause trouble for Toph and gang. It's just for Zuko and his uncle. Then at the very end, it's so quickly resolved. I don't know if the writers realized that they didn't really have time to get into this because they're getting to Book 3. In Book 3, we need to clear all other storylines. We need to make sure that Book 3 is just about Aang versus Ozai. And this is smart. Kind of felt like they did that in a hurry. There were no consequences to the fact that she lied to them this way. I mean, I know throughout the whole series they lie all the time, and most people kind of brush it off. Oh, they're doing that to protect so-and-so, and it's fine. But this time, she lied, and that could have put them in serious danger because they didn't know these people were coming, and this could have hurt, Aang's reputation more if this influential rich person believed that the Avatar had kidnapped his daughter, and that could also have been a problem, like finding places to stay in the Earth Kingdom. But there were no consequences to Toph's lie, and there were no consequences in general to that whole storyline. The only thing that comes out of this is that she learns metal bending, which I think is a stretch. Why metal? Maybe I'm ignorant, maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not sure why she can bend metal as opposed to a tree. Like, why can't she bend nature in general? Yeah, so those are the negatives. Those aren't really a lot of negatives. I wasn't terribly bothered by them. These are overall fairly mild. So let's move on to the positives. Oh my gosh. there are a decent amount of positives for book 2, actually. What I like about book 2 is that the introduction to these new characters, and pretty much all the new characters that they bring in are really good. So I really like Azula, I really like May, I like Ty Lee, I like Toph. I think all these characters were really good additions. I also like the poor cabbage guy. They have a lot of good humor. Sokka going crazy in the desert was so funny. I laughed so hard. The writing is really good. The animation is better. I love the different camera shots. I noticed that this series is that they do a lot of further out camera shots that a lot of places don't do. Usually the shots are closer most of the time. I feel like with this one it's more balanced. It's really interesting. I never felt like it was too much. So I really like the writing, the animation, the voice acting is really good. All the positives in book 1 there's just further amplified in book 2. And I'll probably get more specifically positive as I talk about the characters. So I'm just going to move on to the character analysis. For the character analysis, I'm going to skim over the main protagonist because it's still kind of the same thing in book 2, but it's better. Sokka and Katara are still really good. They continue to mature, and it's kind of subtle. I was looking a little bit at book 1. It's you know what? These characters act more mature in book 2. And I never thought that they act immature in book 1. And I thought that was really good. So I'm going to very briefly talk about Aang. And then I'm going to talk about the new characters mostly. And Zuko, because his journey requires a little bit more talking. So first we're going to start with Aang. Aang, I think out of all of the main protagonists, grows the most. Toph teaches him how to earthbend, and by basically that he needed to be more firm, he needed to be more stern, he needed to stand his ground, and this helped him earthbend, but this also helped him grow as a character because you need some of that in life. His emotional angst over Appa and working through that was also interesting, and seeing him actually get super angry. It's whoa, careful man, don't go down that path, that's a little bit dark. He's really maturing, and they're making a point to do that with Aang, that you're the Avatar and life can't just be all fun and games anymore. So I'm going to move on to Zuko. Zuko, no longer the villain in book 2 at all. We had that episode where we learn more about him called Zuko Alone. So Zuko Alone is a very interesting episode. They don't say it, but it's a little dark, that the mother killed her father-in-law to save Zuko. That's what I'm thinking what happened. She left. I was concerned that she had intentionally left Zuko with Ozai, the man that she thought would kill Zuko. And I thought, this doesn't give the mother a very good look. Something must have happened that this would have happened this way. So maybe she was forced to leave. Because I was thinking if she was going to run away, she at the very least should have taken Zuko with her. Or Azula. I mean, I know Azula's a real jerk in this one. She's got major problems. But she's also fairly young. So if I'm going to run away, and as a mother, I would be responsible for both of my kids, not just one of them. So I would have taken them both with me. So she must have left under duress. There must have been something that she could not have taken her kids with her. So back to Zuko. So we see that, and that helps understand Zuko a little bit more. And we're led to believe that he's on the path of righteousness now. There's no way of going back to the Fire Nation or to his dad. And Iroh's proud of his nephew, and he's got his tea shop, and they get to Boston Say, and they're starting a new life. Things are looking good. And then Azula shows up. Zuko has to make a decision. Am I going to help the Avatar? Am I going to help my sister? He ends up siding with Azula, and Iroh gets captured. Of course, I don't believe this for a nanosecond. I don't believe Zuko. This is Zuko's final decision to the dark side. So I still think my prediction is going to happen, that Zuko is going to join Team Avatar. There's no way that's not going to happen. Just no way. So yeah, his growth is super interesting. Book 2, he's calming down. We see more of his character, and he's more well-rounded and more interesting because gone through a lot, so he's trying to figure out his way. So we'll move on from Zuko and we'll go on. So May, she's funny. She kind of reminds me of that character in Spider-Verse.
Sometimes I let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
So she's almost like this goth-like character where she just needs a lot of excitement in her life. May honestly doesn't come across as somebody who particularly cares about Azula's ambitions or life goals. She's just there for excitement, and that's it. I really don't know how much loyalty there is. She wasn't going to chase Sokka and Katara anymore because she didn't want to jump into this dirty mud, rock, water stuff.
She can shoot all the lightning she wants at me. I am not going in that wall sludge juice.
The second time, she wasn't going to bother fighting them over the bear like that. It's like she wasn't even trying to capture them. And Ty Lee, though, she feels like the Kronk of the group, where she doesn't seem particularly evil. She's just like along for the ride. Kind of reminds me of Kronk. I mean, she's smarter than Kronk. It feels like she's accidentally in the wrong group. They better not be too mean to her. Azula. In this book, from what we see, she has absolutely no redeeming qualities. We have flashbacks to her when she was a child. She doesn't have any redeeming qualities. We don't see her giving any sympathy, empathy, love, affection to really anyone. Like, she's a really good villain where she's calm, she's calculated, she thinks way ahead. She really uses her brain to get what she wants or what she needs. So how she took over Ba Sing Se, that was more of a mental game. Talk about the quickest battle won ever. And it was like almost like a peaceful takeover. Manipulation is her biggest thing. She manipulates people and situations into scenarios where they'll benefit her. And so for her, she's like an actually scary villain. To me, the really scary villains are not the ones who yell, who are angry, who just randomly kill people for no good reason. It's people like Azula. Not only do you have to fight her, and that's really hard because she's a really good fighter, but what's worse is that you have to try to outsmart her, and that's also really difficult. It'll be interesting to see where they go with her. The character analysis for Iroh there isn't much there. He's still like this really good character. We see him trying to guide Zuko more in this book too, and this is poor guy gets disappointed at the end of book 2. So Toph, she comes in fairly early, I believe, in book 2, and she's also this like really good character. I don't know who wrote these characters and wrote them well. Toph, Katara, Aang, and Sokka all work really well together. Toph is like the opposite of Katara, where Katara is more nurturing, she's soft, she's gentle, she's more motherly. She's always bringing up the morality of the situation. Toph is like the opposite. She's like, oh, let's break some rules. Nah, I don't really need a bath today. She's rough, she's tumble. She does have that sensitive side that we all see, which is good. It amuses me how many line jokes there are. They're really funny.
There it is! That's what it will sound like when one of you spots it.
She gets them like every time. You do kind of forget that she can't see because how much she can do. She kind of reminds me of that character. She's like a 2.0 version, better version of the character from Quest of Camelot. They've got like the same bangs and the same almost type of eyes. 2 predictions. I wrote my predictions down. 1, May and Ty Lee live. If they don't live, I'll be really angry. 2, becoming more specific with the previous prediction, is that Azula will die within the last 2 episodes. Prediction 3, I think Azula dies at the hand of Zuko. I don't think that's going to be Aang or anybody else because Zuko and Azula have this conflict, and they're going to resolve that at the end of book 3. Prediction 4, my husband let it slip that May would play an important role. So seeing that she likes Zuko and that she doesn't seem to care about Azula's ambitions in life, I think that she will help Zuko and Iroh out of the Fire Nation. Prediction 5, I think Iroh will be given the chance to rule the Fire Nation. I think they'll offer him to be the Fire Lord after Ozai. I think Iroh will refuse. And I think that he will open a tea shop because I don't think Iroh actually wants to be Fire Lord. So I think that will happen with Iroh. And the next prediction, 6, more of a combo. This is more about how I would think it would end. So obviously the Eclipse thing is not going to work.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
And Aang and Ozai will fight each other one-on-one, and everybody else will take care of everybody else. Azula and the rest of the Fire Nation will be taken care of by Zuko and friends, while Aang and Ozai go fight off with each other somewhere else because Ozai's Aang's fight and not anybody else's, and I don't think he should have any help. And that's it for my predictions. Overall, I would say I would give this season a 9.5 out of 10 stars. I mean, they're flaws, but they're not really serious. And most of the episodes were very enjoyable and funny, and they were character building. It's just a really well-written show. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say about book 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to come back around for my review for book 3. See you next time.